Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Nicola Moras Live. This is Visible Season 5, Episode number 8. Crazy how fast these last 8 weeks have gone. Something that I really wanted to talk with you about is a topic that I talk about in the book, as has everything been this season actually, but the thing that I really wanted to talk with you about today is a question that I get asked a lot about. Good morning, Ainsley. Which is around how do you come across in a way that has you sounding like an expert, right? I know that there are a lot of people in startup mode. I know there's a lot of you that are doing multi-million dollars a year. And the thing that most of us really struggle with, or the people that I talk with anyway, is around having the confidence to front up and actually start talking with certainty. So if you want your people, your audience to listen to what it is that you're saying, to take it in, to engage, whether it's in a post, whether it's in their head, whether it's have them becoming a client of yours, they need to feel really certain that you know what it is that you're talking about. So I'm a big fan of completely not faking it till you make it. I think that is a load of horseshit. I think that there is a much better way for you to be able to create certainty out there. Good morning, Kylie. So one of the things that you would look to do is to, number one, I really strongly encourage you, if you're feeling a little bit nervous about it, is take on that stance of someone who absolutely knows their stuff. Now, this might be where you go and do some research. You might go and watch some TED Talks. You might go to some events. You might go and watch some keynote speakers, right? Hey, Shirley. So the thing with that is that if you can see how other people are able to command presence, if you can see how other people are able to use the stage, whether it's virtually, whether it's in a networking event, whether it's, at a larger event, whether it's at a big corporate thing, whether it's a big seminar, it doesn't really matter. There are clues in the way that they project certainty. One of them is their physiology, right? So the first thing is you've really got to get your body to do what you need to do. So body language commands, I think, oh golly, I haven't got the stats. I think it's about 94% of the message, might have that wrong, don't quote me, of what it is that your people take in. So if you're kind of sitting there a little slouchy, or you've got your arms crossed or whatever, you could be saying the best thing on the face of the planet. You could be writing the best thing. It could be like the latest discovery. But if you can't communicate that in a way where your physiology matches the message, then you're missing out a huge chunk of your communication. So that's a really big tip. In order for you to be able to project certainty, you've got to be able to really feel it. So as you're sitting here watching this, wherever you might be, practice sitting up a little straighter, shoulders back, and being able to really sit there, and even if you say, hi, my name is blah, blah. So, hi, my name is Kylie. Hi, my name is Ainsley. Hi, my name is Shirley. Hi, my name is Nicola. It's a completely different way of you being able to project not only your voice, but also your confidence, whether you're feeling it or not, right? Now, where the fake it till you make it piece comes in is where you've got to pretend, and to me it's like pretending. You want to pretend that you're confident. You want to pretend that you're a subject matter expert, when in reality, you might not be yet. And that's okay. If you are not an expert in what you're doing, if you have not completely mastered what you're doing, that's okay. We all start somewhere. We all need to be marketing, whether you're in brand new startup mode or later on. So I was having a conversation in a room. I was in Sydney last week, and what was interesting about the conversation was about how there was a mix of entrepreneurial business owners as well as corporate people in the room. And one of these women who works for a major organization said, you know what, I'm thinking about getting out on my own, but I don't know what it is that I want to do. And, I want to go into the private sector and this, that, and the other. And she couldn't see probably the 20 plus years of experience that she's had doing what it is that she's doing and how that would translate into what it is that she wanted to do. It doesn't mean that if you're a CFO or a chief financial officer in an organization, that's necessarily what you're going to do outside of that organization. But a lot of the skills are transferable. Now, I've had quite a few career coaches who have been clients of mine, and one of the things that they always talk to me about is what are the transferable skills? Because just because you've been in hospitality doesn't mean you have to be in hospitality forever, right? It's just about finding that link through it. So one of the activities that I get you guys to do in Visible is to actually go through and we've talked about it before in a live, but go through and actually do a stock take of the different chunks of your life with what you've learned, what you did, where you were working, what major life experiences happened in between those times. Because it's those things that are going to help you to feel like, you know what, I can totally do this. This is kind of similar to that, which is kind of similar to that, which is kind of similar to that. I remember in 2010, I trained as a style and branding coach. And I remember being in the training. It was a 5-day training. Or a 3-day training. I remember being in that training room and actually saying to my trainer, saying, wow, like the process that we go through in terms of the questions that we ask and the way we ask them. I said, this is kind of similar to what I do at the bank. What a relief. I worked for Westpac for 12 years. And I said, this is kind of similar to the way that I work with clients and uncover what they need and then coach them and help them to get what they want. And she actually ripped strips off me. She said I was playing it safe and rah, 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 and I was completely gutted. I felt humiliated. I was totally embarrassed with the way that she was with me. And it kind of ruined my confidence for a little while. But now looking back, I'm like, what I did was I found a link for me to be able to create certainty, for me to be able to create confidence in going through and having that level and depth of conversation with someone in an industry and doing something that was reasonably new to what it was that I knew, right? So that's the first thing. I think the other thing that's really important when we're looking to create certainty, it's not just creating certainty for you as the person who's out there speaking, right? Yes, that's a really big thing. Yes, you've got to have your physiology right. You've got to have the mindset for confidence. You've got to have the physiology for confidence. You've got to have all of that. But we also need to remember that we need to create certainty for our audience. So as you start getting more visible, as you start putting yourself out there more, as you start to build your profile and build your positioning and being seen on the different platforms, so you're out there, you're visible, you're being watched, you're being listened to, we really need to be able to make your audience feel certain around what you're talking about, right? So it's not just about you projecting certainty, it's also around them feeling really certain and confident that they should listen to you, that you are someone that they should pay attention to, that they should invest their very precious time. Time is one of the most precious commodities in today's very, very fast-paced moving world. If they're going to invest their time in listening to you, they want to know, and they need to know actually, that what they're going to get is something of massive value to them. So you want them to be able to feel really certain as well. So think about how this applies into your world and into your business. Are you doing things in a way that is going to create certainty for your audience? Now, I came up with a term in the last 8 years, I can't remember when I created it, a term called value stacking. Let me know if this is making sense, guys, as we're moving through too. And if you've got any questions, let me know. I'd love to answer them for you. So value stacking is where we put out content online in order for our audience to feel really safe. No one wants to spend time with people where they feel threatened or misheard or misunderstood or unvalued, right? So your audience wants to feel really safe. They want to feel really certain. And we can use value stacking, the value stacking philosophy, to be able to create that. So one of the things that I like to do, and I encourage all of you guys to do it in order to help your audience feel safe, is to value stack. So value stacking is where you put out content on a regular basis that adds value to your audience. So what happens is that they kind of, as they start to follow you, as they start to see you, they start to get a really big feel for who you are, what you're all about. They learn to know you, they get to like you, they learn to trust you. They see that everything that you're doing is pretty consistent with what you're putting out there. It all demonstrates your values, and it establishes your expert status without you having to go out there and say, hey, I'm an expert at this, and I'm an expert at marketing, and I'm an expert at speaking coaching, and I'm an expert in real estate. Like, they're already going to be able to make that connection themselves. And that is actually one of the most powerful connections that an audience member of yours could ever make. Right? It's where they say, oh yeah, that makes sense, that makes sense, that makes sense. Oh wow, this person really knows what they're talking about. You know, I could sit here and jibber jabber about the way that since moving up here in 2004, I was really passionate about growing my own little patch within a corporate business. I did things differently. I used different marketing strategies, you know, rah. You don't really care, right? And the fact of the matter is that you guys just need to be able to know that you can follow the bouncing ball and put into place what it is that I'm talking about so that you guys can see results, right? Because other than that, if you can't do that, then this is all a big fat waste of time, because I am not a cat video. I can't create funny cat videos that make you laugh with me in it. It's just not how I do what I do. So I'm not here for entertainment. I'm here to educate, to help you implement so that you can get a result. So the way that we do value stacking is like this. So we put out some picture quotes with you on it. We put out some text posts. You want to do some videos. You want to be writing articles on your website or blogging or vlogging, whatever words you want to call it. You've got to have a presence on social media, the three main platforms for you, which will be Facebook, your website, and either probably LinkedIn or Instagram, depending on who your audience is. So nail the three pillars and regularly post up there so that people can see by a glance, if it's just a 1 or a 2 page scroll, right? A flick on a phone or a scroll on a computer, that what you're putting out there is consistent, right? That it's on message, that it's on point. That helps your audience to see that you know what you're talking about. They will automatically assume that you're a subject matter expert. They will see that you have the confidence to put your knowledge and your intellectual property out there without fear of competition or reprisal or polarization or whatever. Now, a really big thing with this, if you want to appear really certain, it's important for you to be able to speak with confidence, obviously, but also it is really, really super important that you share your opinion, right? Otherwise, you may as well be a textbook, just educating. My opinions around this stuff is that nothing ingratiates or gets under my skin more than when people, all they're doing on social media is selling their product, buy this saddle, buy this horseshoe, buy this beer, buy these wipes, buy this mug. Like, I want to get to know you first. I want to understand why I want to give you money. Now that might be through styling tips if you're a clothes store. It might be through different candles that invoke different emotions if you're a candle creator. If you're a website designer, give me some reasons about why having a website that is WordPress based or Wix based or custom coded, why that's even really important. I think the other thing that's really important is you help the people see a little bit about what's important to you. So is family important, health, animals, friends, socializing, champagne, what else is really important to you? Now, the thing with your opinions is that you want to be able to state them as facts. And I would also encourage you to find some data to back them up as well. So I share reasonably regularly about how 70% of online purchases happen after people have viewed their social media profiles. I think there's another statistic that I'll have to actually find properly because I can't remember the actual percentage, was where when someone has seen your stuff, they will actually go and look at all of your social media stuff before they make a purchase. Whether it's corporate business, whether it's a small to medium business, whether you're a solo business, whether you're a startup person. So it's really important that you build up a bank of content that helps you to feel certain and confident that you know what you're talking about, as well as help your audience feel really certain and confident that you know what you're talking about. It's got to be that marriage of the two. So that's what we're talking about today. That's how you can utilize a lot of the concepts that are in here to be able to project certainty. There are some stock takes that I get you guys to do in there that takes you through your work history, your personal history, your life history, so that you can see where the common links are and so that you can actually join the dots and be able to create that confidence that you are able to get out there and start talking with certainty around what it is that you're doing if you're feeling a little bit scared right now. So I trust that this has been helpful. My name is Nicola. Now, next week we're talking about creating influence, and there is, interestingly, some crossover with creating certainty as well as how we create influence. So I'll be talking with you about that next week. Tomorrow's Q&A Wednesday. So if you have any questions, please make sure you let me know. That'd be really great. Thursday, I can't remember, I'm talking to you about how to do something, and Friday is Circle of Love Friday. Most of all though, you've just got to get visible, and there is no better time than today, other than yesterday, to get started if you haven't already. Shirley, opinions. Yes, I have a bit of that about the horse industry. Yes. It's like any industry. There are things that infuriate us and there are things that we really love. So it's really important that you're able to share that stuff without fear of reprisal, without fear of feedback, and just be prepared to really command and own that opinion and really essentially own that stage. All right, everyone, if you've got any questions, let me know. Otherwise, go and have a rocking Tuesday. And I can't wait to speak with you all tomorrow, and then especially next week when we're going through creating influence online. My name's Nicola. Have a great day. Get out there and help some people and get visible.